Guys, and welcome back to my channel, and today's video is gonna be all about like products I've changed my mind about, or like a story time on skincare. So there are a few products which I've used in a tons of like in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different combinations, and I just wanted to talk about them and like my journey with them and all of that stuff, because the brand which I'm going to talk about, like coincidentally all these three products are actually from the same brand, and this brand is something which is very popular and the products are very popular. So I thought that maybe this story time on skincare sort of video could help you guys in making your mind about whether you're interested in purchasing them or not. In case you haven't already, I'm pretty sure you might have tried at least one of these three products, but if you haven't and you want to know what I think about them, how I use them, my thoughts on them, and all of those good things, then this video will probably be helpful for you. But before we begin talking about them, just one thing I want to mention is that for some reason I feel like I look super duper weird in this video. I don't know why. Either it's the lighting, or it's my hair, or it's the fact that I have absolutely nothing on my face, like no makeup. I do have actually a concoction of these two on my face right now, which is actually my favorite concoction out of like everything. So I do have that on my face right now because I want you guys to see what it looks like, and then I just have lip balm on. So if I look weird in this video, and if you agree with me that I do look weird due to some reason which I'm not able to figure out, then let's try and ignore that and just focus on what I'm saying and focusing on these products. So yeah, now let's get started. So first of all, I'll talk about the brand. So the brand is Plum, and I have three of their products which are actually from different ranges. So we have the Plum Grape Seed and Sea Buckthorn Glow Restore Face Oils blend. So it's basically a Plum's facial oil. Then we have something from the green tea range, which is the Plum Green Tea Mattifying Moisturizer. And last but not the least, we have the Plum Chamomile and White Tea Sheer Matte Day Cream with an SPF of 50. So we'll start talking about this one first, because this is the product which I first tried out among these three. So I bought this like I think 1 or 1.5 years back. I don't exactly remember. And when I started using this for the first time, or rather I should say the first few times, what I noticed is that this is a kind of like, I was expecting this to be like a gel consistency because it said matte. So when it came out as a cream, I thought maybe okay, this will turn into like a gel and get absorbed quickly into the skin, but that did not happen. I actually want to show you what the consistency looks like. So I'll take a tiny bit of this on my hand, just this much. You can see it's a very tiny amount. I probably take like double of this for applying it like all over my face every single day. So I want to show you what the consistency looks like. So can you see how white and creamy this is? And I don't like sunscreens or moisturizers which have such a creamy consistency, and I'm going to keep rubbing it in till it gets absorbed completely. So you can see how long it takes to actually get absorbed, and it's getting absorbed a lot quicker here because actually I did not apply any body moisturizer. So this is like moisturizing my hands as well, and it still got absorbed quickly. But when I take double the quantity and apply this on my face, it takes me a while for this to like completely get absorbed, and it kind of leaves not a white cast exactly, but it looks a little bit like white, and you can tell that, you know, she's applied some sort of a white creamy product on her face. It definitely gives that look, and that is not one of my favorite looks, and this is not one of my favorite consistencies or formulations in a sunscreen to apply on my face. And that's the reason why after I used it for a few times, I stopped using it, because I absolutely did not like it, and then I just kept it back in my collection and started using other products. But then in I think mid or maybe end of October, when I was picking up products for my UUBE project pan, I realized that you know, I have this. And if you are haven't watched my like UUBE project pan videos and you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically a project pan in which I pick out products which are close to their expiry. So I picked out a ton of products from my like skincare and beauty collection which are going to expire before November of 2019. So basically all the products which I tend to use in the winters, like more moisturizing and nourishing creams, and then products like these which I would never ever use in the summertime. In the winters I can try using them, but in the summers I would never ever use. And this is gonna like expire in when is this expiring? Okay, I can't actually find it, but I think, okay, yeah, it's expiring in April of 2019. So I have like 2 to 3 months, and I have to finish this before Feb, because in March and April I would never ever use this. So that's the reason why I picked this out, and I was like, you know what, even though you hate it, let's just try making it work and try using it. Now generally, if I don't like using a product, then I don't use it. I either give it away to someone like my mom or my best friend or like other friends. That's what I generally do with my skincare and makeup products. But this one, I took up the challenge, and I was like, I'm gonna try and use this up on my own. I'm gonna kind of make it work. I'll do something, but I'll make it work. So I put this in my project pan, and when I started using it in November, I used it again for a day or two, and then I realized that it's not gonna work. I need to like mix it in with something, or just use some sort of a technique. Like, I need to do something. And that's when I came up with this idea that, you know what, let's try mixing it in with the grape seed and seed buckthorn face oil. So I took like this, a little bit of this, and then like a drop or two of the face oil, mixed it together on my palms, or like rather the back of my hand, and then applied it all over my face. And the face oil really helped in getting this absorbed completely, not leaving a white cast. And it also gave me a really nice, like, glowy and dewy look. Now I prefer matte looks a lot more than a glowy dewy look, but in the winters I don't mind that, because then my skin does not look dry at all. It looks more radiant, more glowy. So in the winters I don't mind that look, but I would never ever like that look in the summers. So I used these two as a concoction and as a mixture together, and that kind of made me like this more, because at least it was working in some sort of way. So that was great. And also, this face oil is something which is a lot more thicker in consistency, so I used to not reach out to this a lot. I used to use the Avon one until and unless, like, once I finished the Avon one completely, of course, then I had to use this one. So yeah, when I used the two together, I really liked both of them. Individually, I'm not a very big fan of either of them, but mixed in together, I really liked them. And I also mentioned in my November favorites video, if you watch that video. So yeah, I mentioned this concoction in that video. But then in December, what tend to happen, like end of November and then December, what happened is that I started breaking out for some reason. Like, I don't know what reason it was. It was probably the facial oil, I'm not sure, because this is more of like a heavy facial oil, and a lot of products which are like very moisturizing and nourishing and more heavy can tend to clog my pores and can tend to break me out. I don't have sensitive skin, but with products which are very heavy on my skin, that can tend to happen. So maybe it was that. So then what I started doing is that I had a few products from the green tea range by Plum. So I had the face wash, the toner, and also the mattifying moisturizer. So I started using those, and the face wash and the toner I used to use, of course, as my first and my second step. And then I wanted to use the mattifying moisturizer also in the daytime, because of course for nighttime it's not going to be appropriate. First of all, like, it's a mattifying moisturizer, so it makes absolutely no sense to use it in the nighttime. It's definitely a daytime product. So I wanted to figure out how should I use the mattifying moisturizer with the chamomile and white tea, like SPF and like day cream. So I thought of like using this first and then using this on top with the face oil, but I also wanted to kind of like stop using the facial oil and see if it is actually what is breaking me out. And I'll be honest, I could not figure out what exactly that was, but I discovered my dream duo, which was the chamomile and white tea, like SPF, along with the mattifying moisturizer. So I take like 3 pumps of this, and I take my regular amount, how much ever I take the day cream. So this is what I mixed in together, and it was one of the best combinations that I ever discovered. So I used to use these two together, and this I mentioned in my December favorites. So that is how I started using these two. But then what tend to happen is that in, I would say, end of December and like even the beginning of January, my skin tend to become like really dry. And I also, if you just know the story of where I spilled my green tea toner all over my luggage, and like the bottle was completely empty once I reached home, because when I was traveling, like, it had completely spilled and leaked in my bag, so I did not have any toner, and the green tea toner was the only toner which I had. So when that spilled and leaked, I had no toner to use. I had like hydrating toners, but those were not daytime toners. I wanted like a daytime toner, so I did not know what to do. So I used to wash my face, and then I was like, what should I use to replace my toner until my like order comes? So I placed the order for the green tea toner because I needed that in my life. But when you order from Plum's website, it takes like a while to come. It does not come like super duper soon. So I was like, what should I do now? So then I figured out what I can do is that I'll wash my face. I'll use like 1 or 2 pumps of this all over my face and see how it works. And this works amazing. It actually also minimizes the appearance of your pores, and your skin looks so nice and so smooth when you use this on top, and I absolutely loved that. So that is what I did, and then I went with 3 pumps of this with this as well. So that is how I used it from then on. And like I mentioned, my skin had tend to get like a little bit dry. So on days when my skin used to be really dry in the morning, even after doing my nighttime skincare routine, what I would do is that I would use this first to minimize the appearance and to have like a nice matte base, and then I used to go in with this and the Plum facial oil, and I used to use basically all these 3 products in the morning time, and that's how I like used it for, I would say, a while. And after that I started having a lot of purging, and if you are following me more actively on my Instagram, you would know everything about that. So basically I was trying out this 7-step routine which the Koreans recommend, and I was using my own products. I was not using anything by the Face Shop or Innisfree or anything of that sort. I was using my own products and kind of like putting them like substituting them in the steps. So I did that, and my skin did not react the best. My skin was actually purging for, I would say, 10 days to 2 weeks. So that is when I kind of stopped using a lot of things, and I went like very very simple. Like I used only one sunscreen. I did not use a ton of products in the night time either, and my skin tend to get a little bit dry. But what I noticed that even though my skin was getting dry, but the purging, the pimples, they were all drying up, and it was like kind of healing. So I just let that be, and that's when I stopped using all of these things for, I would say, a good 2 to 3 weeks. So after that, what tend to happen is that yeah, I was using my VLCC Detan sunscreen gel cream, and one day I was just randomly going through my Instagram, and that is when I saw this post by the brand Sugandha, and they mentioned how you should absolutely not be using facial oils in the daytime because they are supposed to be very very thick, very very heavy, and when you use them during the daytime and you go out in the sun, the facial oil tends to oxidize, and that oxidation actually causes your skin to age faster. So if you're doing anti-aging, like I don't do any sort of anti-aging, let me just put it out there, I'm too young to start anti-aging. But if you're someone who is into anti-aging and you use anti-aging products like in the nighttime or even the daytime, but then if you put a facial oil on your skin and go out in the sun, you're actually going to cause oxidation, and that oxidation is actually going to reverse all the steps. Like if you're working hard for anti-aging and then you go with a facial oil, like if you put a facial oil on your skin in the daytime and go out, you're actually going to cause oxidation, which is not going to help at all with your anti-aging, because that is actually going to cause aging. So when I read that post, I was like, I need to stop using facial oil in the daytime. So currently, again, like I mentioned, I had stopped using these for a while when my skin was purging, but now my purging has completely gone off. Like you can see, I have absolutely no active acne or pimples on my face. All that I have is leftover marks and just a few bumps here and there, but I have no like actual active acne. So I'm gonna like I actually got back to these products from today. Today is the first day when I use them after such a long time, and I realized how much I absolutely love them. So as of now, what I have figured out is that the green tea mattifying moisturizer and the chamomile and white tea sheer matte day cream really work extremely well for me, and until and unless one of these don't get over completely, the mattifying moisturizer will probably get over first. So yeah, until and unless at least one of these don't get over, I will continue using them. And the Plum facial oil is something which I'm not using a ton right now, but if I do use it, I'll use it as a nighttime moisturizer, probably as like the last step of my nighttime skincare routine. On days when my skin is like really dry and I need a lot of hydration, a lot of nourishment, I'll use this as a nighttime. I am never ever gonna use this or any other facial oil in the daytime because I don't want that at all for my skin. So yeah, that was it. Those were my that was my skincare story time, and this was a lot longer than what I had expected and anticipated, but I really hope that you found this video helpful and you got to know a little bit more about how I feel about these products and like what I love, what I don't like, and how I have figured out to use all of them. And I really hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, then please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also hit on the notification bell button which is next to the subscribe button, because that way you'll get to know every single time I post a new video. So basically you'll get a notification on either your laptop or desktop or your phone, whatever. And I'll also list all these products in the description box along with their links, and also leave my social media handles. I have an Instagram and a Snapchat, so you can also follow me there. And yes, that was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Until next time, bye.